I'm Heidi.
I'm Evan, and we are Small Axe Farm. Small Axe Farm is our home, and it's also our business. And we're located in Barnet, Vermont, which is in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. We're a no-till farm, so once we open beds the first time, the soil never gets inverted again. It allows us to put in less amendments into the soil. We need less water. It works well with our landscape. We farm on a hillside, and so not massively disturbing the soil is really important. The amount of food we produce on this 1 acre of land in Zone 4 is off the charts compared to how food is produced in our industrial food system. And I'm sure it's 10 times. Our farm started from just a conversation that we had well over 20 years ago when we were sitting in our apartment deciding about what we wanted to do with our lives and why we were feeling unfulfilled even though we were both doing jobs that we liked. We decided that we wanted to homestead. You know, we weren't quite sure what that meant.
Just to put ourselves in a position to challenge ourselves, to get back to basics, build our structures, grow our food. We felt like that was something we really wanted to do.
It was a long journey between there and actually starting a vegetable farm, but that was what started us off. We just started saving money, and then after a couple years, we maybe had like $7,000 or $8,000, and we just started looking for land. We found this place.
And I walked out to the top of the hill. It's just sort of this amazing energy, incredible view. I kind of got a little teary, and he was like, whoa, whoa, hold on, hold on. Because I was like, I think this is it.
After we bought the land for the first 4 years, we lived out here in the summer times. We planted fruit trees and built our gardens, and then we built our cabin. We got a team of little draft horses. I didn't know much about them, and that winter started logging with them. In the first years that we were here, we grew the vast majority of our own food, lived really simply without electricity and running water. That was kind of our intention of just like, let's start with just the basics that we need so that we can really learn what we do need and what we don't. We live in Zone 4, and we're in northern Vermont, and we're also up at 1,500 feet, so we're pretty high. It's a fairly cold place to grow, but growing on a south-facing slope, it's a warmer microclimate. Farming on a slope is challenging in that anything on wheels doesn't work well on a slope. A lot of things take a little bit longer.
Yeah, we've just adapted. It's all we've ever known for farming.
We have to have a raised bed system to deal with erosion, so that soil will erode off of our beds into the pathways which go across the hill, and then that soil will go back up on the beds again. The bulk of our food goes wholesale direct to retail, supermarkets, food co-ops. Our second biggest part, although it's much less this year because of coronavirus, is restaurants. And then direct to customers was our third.
I think we started with 2 CSA shares, a couple of people in the neighborhood.
We started out doing home delivery. We still do that, although we deliver to drop spots in neighborhoods now. During COVID, we did a lot of home deliveries again, but we've mostly refined back to drop spots, except for people who are really high risk. We still deliver to a few folks like that.
In the beginning, we could not pay anyone. We were barely paying ourselves. It was just super important for us to, eventually get to the point where we could be successful enough that we could hire people and give people a good wage. And so now we have 3 employees that are full-time, and our son and his friends that come and bag for us. Those are great little starter jobs for them, and it's super valuable for us, and it's been really fun to have them part of it.
We now have a pretty big microgreens business. We sell them year-round, and we ramp up that production in the winter when there's less local food.
I think we had to educate people that you want local greens in, January. Well, we've got local greens. And I think people have really just enjoyed the fact that they can get super nutritive food, from a local farm in the winter.
One joy and challenge of our farm is that we started off-grid and we're still off-grid. It makes everything more challenging for sure, and if you want like the easy path towards having a successful, profitable farm right away, it's not something we would necessarily recommend. If you want a good life where you're connected to land and you really understand how you are in the world a little better, it's a great way to live. We do have a good drilled well. We only have enough power to pump a certain amount of water at once. So it takes a long time to water an acre if we go through extended multi-week dry spells. On the plus side, we grow most of our food without any power. Our farm has a pretty good profit margin because of that. We started using silage tarps with the white side up. This is how we germinate pretty much every bed of greens, every bed of carrots. It's just what we do because we don't have access to unlimited water. And for greens, even though in the summertime they may only be under the tarp for 48 hours, it helps us to have even germination because it's not just about moisture, it's about consistent temperature. Everything is even, and that's what seeds want. Part of no-till farming is learning how to flip beds efficiently. We try as much as possible to move stuff less, and so we just develop a system of leaving all of our plant debris in our pathways. We'll cut all those greens right to the soil level. The string trimmer will mix some dirt into it and it will decompose really quickly. Then we don't have to pick it up and compost it and then bring it back. I can completely flip 360 bed feet and replant them in about an hour.
I mean, I think that's how we make our 1 acre work for us, is keep planting.
The quick cut greens harvester was the most expensive tool that we bought to that point. It was like $500. Read an article about it, I think. And I was like, this thing is amazing. Like, this could change everything. It made us feel like we were a part of something because it was a tool for our style of farming, for what we were doing and for our scale of farming. We use it every harvest day, and we have for 8 years now, I guess. We had just finished our wash pack building, the first part of it. After many years of building it in the shoulder seasons, we had a friend who had asked to stay for a couple days. I woke up in the middle of the night to that building on fire. That night we lost that farm building, and I was able to go in and pull our friend Kelsey out, but she didn't survive the fire. That kind of changed our lives and changed the story of our farm. The time after that has been one of the most uplifting parts of our whole lives. People we didn't know from the community just showed up to help us clean up the building site and then rebuilt the building. Having coronavirus come, people were starting to panic about food, and we just started delivering food to people's houses. Being in a place at that time to be something that was solid in the community, that other people could be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have food. It was a really important time for us to realize, like, that's why everybody helped us, because like we are important for the community, and this is the time when we're really important.
After our busy days, it's really nice to recollect as a family, share a meal together, share our days with one another. It's a really good time for all of us to just slow down a little bit. It's a pretty important time.
Having a little profitable farm that provides jobs in the community and keep this community alive is really important. We feel it's really vital for our state and our community to have more people farming and engaging in the land. There's a lot of people all over this planet looking for something different than what's being offered, looking for a different food system, looking for a different way of life, looking for more freedom and independence. And small farming is a way to do that.
It just satisfies so much of who we are and how we wanted to live and who we wanted to be. It's worth the hardship and the hard days.
It's a hard world to be optimistic in at times, but we are optimistic people, and we believe there's no other way to live life.